right. Welcome to episode 35. We got Bubba Crypto, Too Easy Trizzy. What's going on?
Nothing much. Big Trizzy these days. Shout out to Ricky Henderson. He had a career batting average of 278, one of the best hitters in Major League history. So keep that in mind, fellas. All you have to do is get to first base 3 out of 10 times to go to the Hall of Fame. So strike out swinging or aim for the fences, whatever one. We missed out. I was like, we didn't talk about 9/11 at all. And then I woke up, saw Happenings tweet, and I was like,
damn.
The Twins.
Yeah. No, yeah.
I love you, USA.
Real quick, I got a question. What can you remember on that day specifically when you woke up that morning?
I just went in my parents' room and they were like watching the news, and I was like, well, I never see the news. So I was like, what's going on? And then you see a plane in the tower and you're like, what? Like, I don't even know how to explain it in the mind of a kid. I was just like, you know that it's not good. And then when I got to school, it was like on the television in the school too. So I was like, holy cow, this is crazy. I didn't know what it really, really meant. But yeah, what about you?
Bro, I remember waking up to my dad, like turning the light on in my room and like very like talking to me very like aggressively to get out of bed and get up. And when I finally got up out of bed, I remember walking into his room and he was on the phone with somebody. And he's just like, get your shit, son, get your shit. And just kept saying, get your shit. And I'm like, you know what I mean, dude, I'm the youngest of the family. My dad, you know, he's just like, he's trying to figure it out. But the thing I remember is watching the second plane going in. And my dad, like, just stopped talking on the phone. And then he gets back on the phone and he's like, I'll call you back. And like the rest of the day was just like oddly like just quiet like yesterday, man, as it should be.
I mean, the only way I can relate to it is my cousin, you know, just went up and was like enlisted right then and then was in Afghanistan after that.
Damn.
And so to me, I'm like, I always think about it, you know, heavy military presence in my family. So I always think of it a little different. And then, you know, that just kind of gives you a different perspective, you know, like I like when we talk about the country, like from my perspective, how I was grown or how I was raised, you know, you respect the military. Those are people that risk their lives for us to go talk cryptocurrency on the internet. So, you know, hopefully that doesn't get overlooked these days.
Yeah, but, for real, man. But yeah, no, just touching on that subject, I think that's a good day of reflection. So shout out to everybody in New York. We love all of you, even no matter which side of the party line you are on, no matter what, let's meet in the middle and let's keep building, huh? That's the vibe. I like that. Let's get back to routine here. How about you hit me with that quote, bro? And come on.
It's got a bad word in it.
Come on.
I'm like raised military, but somehow doesn't like to curse. Well, I mean, you know, maybe connect the dots. I'm sorry. I'm traumatized, everybody. All right. You have your trauma too. I have mine. I can't cuss. I'm sorry. Okay. So here's some Ab-Soul who does cuss.
Let's go.
Get up off yo ASS.
Yes.
Go and get some cash.
Let's go.
Get up off your ass. Go and get some cash. Show 'em you mean business.
Yo, dude, that is so fantastic. Bro, when I heard that song this morning, it took me back to 2012 when Kendrick and all of them came out with, like, TDE was really popping, and, you know, Q had his blow up right before Kendrick, and Ab-Soul and J-Rock, they all kind of, like, blew up before Kendrick really had his big moment. And so Ab-Soul was always my favorite, bro. He never really wanted, like, the spotlight or nothing like that, bro. He just kind of, like, kept to, like, the actual writing of his music. So that's, oh, bro, come on, commendable. Yeah. Love that shit.
My mom was just at the Kendrick Lamar concert. No big deal.
Really?
I mean, she was working it, but yeah. So, you know, she works at the arenas, she like gets like front row views of just every concert that goes there. But that's, you know, the bonus of being a legend.
That's what I'm saying. Shout out Tommy. Damn, 2 weeks in a row? Yeah. Is that what we're doing?
Shout out to my mom. I mean, that leads us right into the article for our why.
Let's go.
For our why. I mean, I got to get this cash for my mom,
Beautiful. Are you hitting it up more?
That's about it.
That's about it?
No.
I thought you were going to go into it. This video I was watching the other day, this guy was talking about breaking down levels of health And he was like, I can tell them to you in the order of importance. It's first your physical health, and then after your physical health, it's your mental health, and then after mental, it's spiritual, and then spiritual, it's your financial. And he said, with each one, you level up to go to the next one. And without certain ones, you miss it. And so, like the spiritual.
So I gotta be buff before I'm feel good about myself. I mean, that's true.
Yeah. You know, be one.
Oh, you have a bad day? Why don't you put up 350 pounds if you want to have a good freaking day?
There you go. Shout out to Blockthenic. By the way, we're gonna do an update on the Discord soon. Get all these new channels and stuff. But yes, we're gonna get that. The gym channel, Too Easy Gym. Let's definitely do that because I know you got tons of friends that are in that type of vibe, and as it keeps growing, I think that's a good idea. You know what I'm saying?
True chains.
But I personally wanted to say, when you're looking for your why, Trizzy said it's family, and that's absolutely, definitely why we've always been doing pretty much anything in our lives. Like, we always have focused on bettering ourselves or our surroundings, and then wanting it to spill over into other people's lives around us. And so I personally wanted to say, I love each and every single one of you in this space, and knowing that all of us are out there gaining information. This means like everybody that listens to this podcast, because I know now we've gotten to a point where we're kind of actually like having y'all listen to us, and we really appreciate that. And one of the most fulfilling things on the face of this planet has been a part of this, when Trizzy and I figured out we actually have personalities and some type of wit to do this. But we really appreciate you guys being here with this like whole financial revolution, because it is like that. It's nothing under that. It's a big change, and only the strong will be able to bring it to the rest of the world. So thank you for being here with us, guys. And
thank you.
Yeah, let's see where this goes. But with all that being said, Trizzy, how about that crypto news? How you feeling?
Pretty freaking good. I mean, it's always good when you're starting with Russia, right?
Right.
I love how you always do that. Every episode, we're talking Russia avoiding sanctions. All right. We're going to quit stalling here. Let's get into Russia. So I didn't have dictators on my mind when we first started this podcast. Shout out to Dictators NFTs, which I don't own. Only Bubba Crypto does. But I do have a worm, just worms. I bought it, and I was like, oh, I got this worm for 0.6. Let's go. Look at him. He's a cool little worm. There's no utility, no roadmap. And I was like, well, F it. I mean, do any of them?
They say they do.
Now we're at 1.9, so on next episode, watch my meltdown about how I still didn't take profits. Now back to the real news.
Yes.
So Russia has begun working on creating platforms for cross-border settlements in stablecoins, according to the Russian Deputy Minister of Finance. I mean, even their finance guy has a pretty scary title.
Yeah.
So we got Alexei Moise, edit that so it sounds like I speak Russian.
Yeah.
Revealed the new objective for the Bank of Russia and Finance Ministry. Stablecoins have become such a heated debate, and the race to control this part of the market is at full send. That's what you said.
That's right.
We're going full send.
I sure did. Yeah, shout out to the pod.
Yeah,
we got a pod too.
Yeah, we do. We'll get on your pod.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys, I just watched the episode with the guy who killed Osama bin Laden, so if you need a avid Call of Duty player, let me know. I can get in there, talk crypto. So, yeah, what do you think? Are we helping Russia avoid these sanctions or what? I mean, they're pro-stable coins, but they're kind of like they were discrediting crypto a month ago. Now they're saying stable coins.
Right.
Where are we at with this?
It's the same thing like we talked about last time. We were like, wait, didn't these guys just say they were cool with it, that they needed it or wanted it or something? And then they were like, no, we're not going to have it again. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Crypto is not your side piece, Russia, okay?
Come on. Yeah. Not the side piece. It's the side hustle. Shout out to our guy.
Shout out to Elon.
Shout out to Musk. The vibes here, I think full send. Yeah, I think we could see the crypto space go full send because the space race is backed in like a completely different way like we've never seen before.
Oh, yeah. Now we're scaring Russia. You can avoid sanctions, but we're talking a space race. You want some more action?
Let's go. We'll race you to
Mars. The green screens aren't coming back.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we're gonna have the fact checkers out here. I really want to say that our leaders got to get on it too. It's not like we are just out here gonna just only watch this stuff. We have to start figuring out like how we can utilize it, because it's not going anywhere. That's the thing. Like Brad Sherman said a week or two ago, and it's like, as you and I keep doing this, we just keep finding more and more and more stuff that are just like intermingling and giving us an understanding of what's going on out there. And it seems, real quick, get your opinion on this. It seems like it's almost developing so fast that the legislation can't keep up. The institution, like those institutions, they can't keep up. And so the people that are developing the space have such a like advantage because they understand it in such a way that they don't. Seriously, you know?
Yeah, no, the internet moves fast, and I think we would all agree that anything political moves extremely slow. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
we're gonna have to catch up. You know, we're gonna need those IRS agents on the case. So let's just see what they do. Besides me hiding $15 of capital gains, which I'm not because I have a lawyer, and you can see my TurboTax. It was in green, low risk. Don't worry, everybody. I wasn't doing. Bless you, Abby. Thank you. That was great because now I don't have to talk about that anymore.
Shout out Abby. We love Abby.
Shout out to Abby.
We haven't had our shout out to Abby. Freaking. We love Abby.
She's going to be DJing the set tonight post pod.
DJing
so
the set
in.
post pod. That's right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right, let's run into it. Let's go.
Shout out to Alex as well.
Shout out to Alex.
She's not a DJ. She could be a DJ, but she's about to be making some delicious shrimp tacos, so no big deal.
DJ in the kitchen, you know, cooking up rhythms and vibes, you know, is what it is.
Yeah. Speaking of cooking rhythms and vibes, is Ripple cooking up these vibes? I mean, what? So, you know, we had a nice healthy discussion in the Discord this week, and, you know, XRP, if you're looking for, would you consider it safe? You know, we were talking about how much they work with the regulators. Hey, if you don't end up on zero after regulation, I'm proud of you.
Right. I want to say shout out to the boys for the conversation we had this past weekend. That was really enlightening, awesome conversation. And this part, when we got talking about Ripple, it was really unique to see the different opinions and to see opinions change based off of us talking about the facts. And those are the things, you know, that we want that. We want to be able to intermingle thoughts. So
for sure.
What do you feel
and
now?
The question that arose, it was, you know, when we're making the top 10 crypto moves, like what is going to be here in the long run?
Right.
And we got into the discussion of, you know, working with the government. And yeah, no, that's not terrible. I mean, I don't want a crypto or, you know, a software whose representation are out here hiding under the table and like acting like they're not going to get found. Right. Like the Scream guy in Scary Movie 1 when he's hiding and his butter out. And you know what I'm talking about?
Where am I?
You're behind the couch.
The best part of Scary Movie is when the hot chick, who we all probably thought because we were just becoming men, and you know, Scary Movie 2 was as rated R as we could get. The guy's like, you know, getting seduced by the guy in the wheelchair, and he's like, I can do it myself.
I just remember when he would put his hand in the food and everybody would be watching him like
not that
shit.
guy. The guy on the wheelchair, they have a duel. Like the guy with the little hand, they're going at it the whole time, but like the guy in the wheelchair, literally like they need a key or something, and then she's like flirting with them and was basically, you know, being sexually getting him aroused, and he's like, you know, since he's in a wheelchair, he's like I can do it myself, like he hates that extra help, and he's like, yeah, no, I can suck myself off.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that like, I think it was kind of in the, like a storage room, isn't it? Isn't it like over in a side?
Yeah.
It's before they are in the freezer,
now you're getting the setting right. You're like, oh, yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. Dude, Scary Movie was such an original, amazing, like, satire comedy that I think is probably, it's like the American Pie of Halloween. You know what I mean? I don't know. Would that be right to say? I feel like it could be. I mean, it comes from the same era.
I don't know why you connect it to Halloween. I mean, it can be scary 365 days a year. Kind of like, an update on another story. Not that we don't want to talk XRP still.
2 hours later.
There was literally a cricket in this. There was a cricket in the sink. I'll make it quick.
Oh, wow.
Cricket in the sink today.
Oh,
Which,
wow.
no, I don't live in a bug-infested, neighborhood. I promise you
It's
that.
Arizona.
You'll see my place. But there's a cricket in the sink, and it can't get out. And, of course, I was going pee because, like a human, I have to pee every so often. I don't know about you, but, cricket in the sink, and I'm like, frick, man, seriously? I have to take another life today? So I asked Alex what to do, and she's like, put the cat in the sink. Murder it. And I was like, I don't have the heart to be an executioner. And then we ended up saving it, just threw it outside. But that's enough, okay? I saved a life today. I'm a better person than I was last week.
Man.
So
That's beautiful.
just keep blessing the crypto market.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love that. What goes
Okay.
around comes around.
So now we have about 15 minutes in between this XRP segment. So Ripple will be announcing more CBDC. Oh, I did say it right. I was feeling dyslexic for a minute.
I know.
Wait. I said it wrong. I said CB. There's no B.
The
I keep
CBDC,
thinking,
central bank digital currencies.
But I keep thinking of CB, which is cold beer and cheeseburgers. So I'm like, dang it. Like in my text, it's like, where are we going tonight, fellas? CB. And now we're talking CDBC. Like at some point, we got to stop with the analogies. I don't want to be lazy. I'll say the whole freaking thing. All right. So Ripple will be announcing more CDBC in the coming weeks. Ripple's Anthony Welfare. Pretty cool last name. I don't know if that's his crypto name, but I mean, I'm like, guy's got money. Wait, no, he doesn't have money. Welfare. Now my mind's just blown again.
Right.
So Anthony Welfare is the CBDC advisor at Ripple. He says, for Ripple, crypto is in our DNA, engraved in it, like the blockchain. I mean, I don't know if he has a tattoo like us for crypto, but
Yeah.
we'll see it. So
We'll
our
see.
Ripple X business unit is focused on making it easy for developers to build on and with the XRP ledger, as well as partnering with others in the crypto space and use cases like NFTs and CBDCs.
Yeah. And we had Happenings talk about that in when we had our little round table this past week, and he made a very good point. They're coming out with a NFT platform as well, and NFTs are going to be the hype of the space. They will eventually keep flowing in and that comes back 360 to the other conversation of we're moving so fast. Are these entities and these, legislation officials, able to keep up? And it's not looking like they can. But Ripple partnering, I lost my train of thought, Baba.
Dude, speaking of losing, Just Worms went from 1.9 to 1.55 floor in a matter of 10 minutes. So, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's fine. I'll be back. Don't worry, audience. Next week, you're going to hear about how it's back up to 3, and I'm not an idiot because I held on.
Hey,
Okay, back to it.
Yeah, no, I got my thought back. Happenings brought up talking about the NFT part of XRP, and I was surprised by that. Didn't know they were doing that. But then as the conversation kept on, we started to see why people have their different opinions on Ripple. And the common conclusion that we all came up with was they're onboarding blockchain into the ecosystem, right? And that's big banks, it's big money. Yeah, maybe I don't know why everybody in the world feels whatever type of way, but we were right as we came to that central conclusion. They are onboarding blockchain. The only problem we have, and let's reiterate this so we can come back and reflect on this in the future, is Ripple is bringing blockchain to the people that caused Satoshi Nakamoto to develop the white paper of Bitcoin. That's why blockchain and decentralization was created, was to work against the big banks and the interest makers and the lenders and the borrowers. And so, the people that want to control your money, and that's where the moral part of crypto comes into the play. So you said it hilarious the other day. You're like, I'll sell my soul for a bag of Ripple. Come on, if that's what's going on.
Yeah, no, for sure. If you guys are winning and you're going to be here, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean,
I would sell my soul.
I don't, at the end, of the day. The real part of crypto is it was created by people that everybody said they never had a chance. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Litecoin, all of them. You know, every cryptocurrency never had a chance. And look at where we're at. And it's not fair. It is not fair to discount any of them, but it is also unfair to be taking the system and using it against the system, right? If it comes to that. And that's what people are worried about. So, but speaking of which, I got a great transition of somebody getting into the system and using the system to their benefit. In a way, you know, that's what we're afraid of Ripple doing to blockchain. We're afraid of Congresswomen and men making bad decisions.
Glad you clarified. And men.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
have to.
I thought we were about
both.
to get canceled.
No, because you got to bring everybody into this. And the thing here is what we're seeing is the worry, in my opinion, about how legislators that are making any type of decision concerning blockchain or cryptocurrency are people that are heads of the Democratic Party that shows and reflects that they aren't big supporters of blockchain, at least the leadership part of the party. And when you see the leadership, Maxine Waters, she is a leader on the Democratic Party. You know, she's in charge of the decision making.
Is that the chairwoman?
That's the chairwoman. Yeah, it is a problem having leadership that is in a major party in the U.S. showing their colors about crypto, and then they're the ones making the rules. That's sketch.
Right. But when it comes to stable coins right now, they're saying that the bill may no longer be ready in time for lawmakers to debate and vote into law this year. So, you know, the expectation was to have some sort of at least stable coins resolved by the end of the year, which if it doesn't happen, I'm fine. Because I think we've said it a bunch, like take as long as you need, just get it right. But like you were talking about Maxine Waters, I'm going to just trust your name, or trust you on the name.
Yeah.
Democratic. So the article says Democratic chairwoman, and it's ranking Republican. Oh.
What's his name?
Just says ranking Republican. But then I realized that that's, yeah. All right. Where do I want to go with this? Where do I want to go? Nobody knows that this is happening right now. Got to be smooth on the mic, like Tunchi. Tunchi didn't write a thing down.
That's
I have
right.
a script in front of me. I can't even freaking read it. All right, here I am.
That's it.
Best podcaster alive.
That's right.
Me, I got callus on my hands. I can handle that.
That's right.
All right, so Democratic chairwoman and its ranking Republican, they can't really seem to get along, and that's what's stalling this. They're looking at two different things.
I want to say this real quick on top of what you were just saying. The guy that wrote the article was talking about how these people that are in power right now that are looking at the legislation to make for cryptocurrency, they might not be here next, half a year. Some of these people might not get voted back in. And I'm not saying, I don't want to wish failure to anybody, but I'm hoping for the best people to make the best decisions, right? So
Yeah. And speaking of making the best decisions, what I was trying to say is there was a number of points that they couldn't get along with, including, it says, there have been a number of points to iron out, including such thorny topics as the role, no, not horny, don't think it was horny, including such thorny topics, with a T,
right.
topics as the role of state regulators, the possibility of a future digital dollar in the U.S., and the treatment of customer money held by crypto platforms. So that's what's holding it up. They're not filibustering. I lied. I'm sorry. I should maybe just try to be a politician.
I'm just worried about, in the end, like, what are they really going to decide to do? But I don't think we're going to see much of anything just because of the way that all these elections are turning out across the country. So a lot of people don't know what's going on right now in the sense of like politics. And it sucks when politics comes into play, man, about who's making decisions out here. But it is an important part, as much as people want to cringe about talking about Democrats or Republicans. It's like these people are our leadership, and we have got to keep these people accountable, right?
Yeah, right. And I think I saw there was some, basically they were doing something. I sent an article in the Discord today. We're definitely going to be talking about it next week. Mm-hmm. But it goes along with like highlighting the politicians who are, pro blockchain and pro crypto and all that. So
That'd be cool to
we'll
put
see.
like in an Excel spreadsheet and see who's for and against, and see what party and lines, and then do percentages on who represents and which party represents more of. And that could persuade people to go Democrat or Republican, because the concept of blockchain being taught to people, and when they understand that, it doesn't matter what politically you believe. I promise you, that does not matter who you are. Everybody can get behind this, right?
Right.
I mean, seriously, it's like taking all their powers and saying, "Hey guys, we're gonna slow y'all down, and we're gonna give it to others that really are working just as hard, but they're getting robbed right now." And it showed in the markets where loyalties lie, and now we're down here and we're like, all right, who are the builders? Who's left? And
Right.
Unfortunately, we have to deal with legislation while we're building. It's like, all right, let's just keep building.
Right. I mean, keep building until the education catches up with everybody, because I was having a conversation with a family member this weekend, and they were talking about Bitcoin, and, they obviously know I love my crypto.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be a thing. But then, they mentioned one of the, what was he saying? He was like, yeah, but, you just can't keep up with the transparency. You don't know where it's going and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And, this is a smart person, not just saying that because it's a family member, but they're saying, it's hard to track the Bitcoin and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, in my head, I was like, it's pretty hard to track the dollar.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
hard to
for
track
sure.
a single note being lent from the Federal Reserve, and it's cash in your hand, and nobody knows where that's going. I don't know, man. That's what I think people.
Well,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, speaking of cash in their hand, we had Coinbase
well
and
done.
MakerDAO. So Coinbase has proposed an investment line with MakerDAO, the organization behind the largest decentralized stablecoin. The proposal would make a third of the Circle stablecoin backing Maker's DAI stablecoin, which is an estimated of $1.6 billion to Coinbase Prime in exchange for 1.5% yield, or an estimated $24 million of MakerDAO's revenue.
Yeah.
So we kind of talked about this before. I was like, which direction are we going to go with this? Because I was interested. What's your take on all this?
Yeah. People don't like XRP because of the centralization aspect of it. We're all afraid of them leading us to slaughter. And this right here, for me, over the past month, I would say, Coinbase for me has really been showing how they really care about this space. Well, they definitely know their stock price relies on it. If they're not successful in crypto, their business is going to fail. So they know that they have to lie loyalties to us and crypto. The thing is the tone really changed at some point with the SEC when they put out that blog post talking about they were sick of it and they will just see them in court. And that's great to see, because last week when I was going through the last podcast and listening, thought it was unique when we were talking about, I think it was last week or the week before, where lawyers, why can't we afford them, or why couldn't we have afforded them? Why weren't we lobbying? Why weren't we teaching, protecting, doing things proactively? Were we sitting back and being complacent? And that's, a good reflection of the 1920s and what they learned with that market. And so, yes, we're not against regulation or anything like that, but it's we're worried about centralized entities causing problems, and MakerDAO's reaction to everything was priceless, bro. They're like, you know what? We're just fuck it. We're just throw it away. It would have caused a little bit of mayhem in the markets. People would have freaked, and the market is fragile right now. And they kind of came over and was like, hey man, we're a team. Coinbase, we're on the same side in a way. And I thought that was really good. And so what angle do I want to take on this? I think it was a good move by them.
Right. But what's interesting is I didn't realize that Maker is, they're not the biggest fans of Coinbase, because it says since the token's developer team blacklisted Ethereum addresses in response to U.S. tornado sanctions, that kind of caused issues in Maker's, in their opinion, because they're like, oh, what happened to decentralization?
That's right. Exactly.
And I mean, I agree with that aspect too. But then when I was going through this same article, they say, in an ideal world, I would say we are completely crypto collateral backed because we get maximum decentralization. So it's like it's so tough,
It's
you know,
super
'cause
tough, man.
when you go all in on crypto, you know, you see what happens. Like, what if the business isn't set up right financially, and you know, you have a Luna situation? Like, that's what I think of when I hear of, you know, just all crypto. Okay,
Yep. No, you hit it on the dot, and that's what we're worried about. And I think to an extent, there has to be a way that we come together and we shake hands on everything, but they can't slow down the innovation and stifle opportunity for the rest of the market. Think about where, just for example, okay, you and I, we had discussions talking about we're going to start this entire brand and idea, and next thing you know, we're doing all right, and you and I have a conversation. What if the bear market comes into play and we're having to build through the bear market or whatever? And the crazy part about that is, yeah, you're having to build through the bear market. Damn, I'm losing my train of thought. That was a good point. Fuck.
Few moments later.
Oh, that's what I was saying. It was like like the 1920s and the whole collapse of the United States stock market because people got complacent and greedy. That's a good reflection of what we just saw in the crypto market. And yeah, people weren't kidding when maybe we do see maybe a year or two in these ranges where, you know, altcoins are trying to find their identities and really make an impact, and Bitcoin is trying to figure out how to maintain solid growth. And it's fuck, man, lost my train of thought again, bro. Oh no, there it is. As we keep developing this market, we're going to have to understand this market does move fast, but in the 1920s, it took till the 1940s to get out of that depression, right? But we're talking about a completely different marketplace. I get that. And there's a stock market out there. There's a lot of value out there. I understand all that. So maybe it's not as bad as a multi-year bear market. But when you reflect on the past, because the history doesn't repeat itself, it shows a reflection, right? And it has some similarities. That's what he says, or that's what they say. And right here in this moment in time, we want to be wise with what we're doing, because we don't want to be completely like that moment when MakerDAO was like, you know what, screw it, we're just going to throw it all away. Now, I get they got other capital, other liquidity, other value in other places. That's fair game, understandable. And they are a great entity, bro. I'm a diehard MakerDAO DAI guy. Like, I promise you, next round, I'm taking DAI profits, not taking cash profits. I want DAI, dude, like, because I really believe in that ecosystem. And so we got to come together with some common sense here. And I think what the common sense part is going to be is like when we saw with the space race, right? We weren't sending up rockets. Next thing you know, we see a rocket go up with Russia. They send up a satellite. We're like, oh, y'all are doing what? You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, kind of a smart move. We're like, why don't you guys break the atmosphere first? What happens?
Yeah, let us know how
somebody got sucked out of an alien suit. We're like, oh my God, what is up there? I'm freaking scared.
Yeah, we're all right. We want to stay down here. No, I want to travel the stars, man. Reach for the stars, aim for the moon. I believe in all that stuff, in the metaphorical sense and the relation into now. It's funny how history kind of has rhythm and rhyme to it. And here we are. We're finding our moment where blockchain is quite important. So, hey, Tornado, Cash, that situation's messed up. MakerDAO, please make the right decision with Coinbase. I think that was a hell of a deal. And Coinbase, thank you for stepping up in a moment where you kind of needed to, in a sense of authority where you could. So thank you. Thank you. This is how we come together.
And we're back. We're back. Gary Gensler, we're not done with you. I mean, maybe we are. I mean, Gary Gensler passing a little authority to the CFTC. In August, senators proposed legislation that would have the CFTC oversee crypto assets deemed commodities such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. It always messes with me when it says Ether, and I'm like, I already had it Ethereum
right.
lined
that's
up
fair
in
game.
my brain.
It does the same thing to me. Yeah.
So what's not fair game is the SEC has previously said Ethereum is a commodity. What the freaking crud, bro?
Yeah. Come on, get it together.
So we got SEC, CFTC. I mean, hey, however many freaking analogies we need to make this go forth and be pro crypto, I'm for it.
We're with it.
But what did you think of this article?
It was tough because when I was reading through it, and I was getting like worked up in the sense of like man, I really wanted to get into the article and start talking about like the problems with this, right? Which isn't correct. You shouldn't go into anything with the thought process of like, what are all the negatives? So I already kind of had the vibe on the negatives, and I was talking about that video I dropped earlier, and I jump into it, and the guy was kind of saying all the stuff that was like wrong in a way with Gary's speech at the SEC conference or whatever was going on. And then he comes out and says the really biggest problem that he had was how he doesn't highlight anything about the good stuff of blockchain or the good nature of it. It's just like problems and things wrong, and then protecting people he doesn't even protect because those people got absolutely crushed by none of their support at all whatsoever. You know what I mean? It was just like, oh yeah, absolutely, we're going to let you guys completely fall apart, and while we're doing that, we're going to degrade and discriminate, and not only that, we're going to completely defame the name of blockchain and cryptocurrency across the board, right?
Yeah.
Like make it scary to even touch this stuff. And
yep.
So
in a moment in time, I was like, wait, isn't this dope that this is the guy? Because, teaching a blockchain class at MIT, I was like, this is probably the best thing possible, right?
That could happen for us.
You would have thought, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, hey, Gary, come on, take it easy. Take it easy,
Gary.
Okay?
Yeah.
There's probably enough things going on in the stock market for you guys to figure out.
There's plenty to go on. I mean, they're looking at us $1 trillion in value, and we got transparency on the blockchain to be able to locate transactions and find out who did what and when they did what. You know what I'm saying? And the thing here is we should have our politicians and these administrations work off of a transparent blockchain as such so that we can find out what they're doing with the funds that are given to them from the taxpayers. Makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Problem with cash, you can't.
Yep, and that's why I was like, if anybody should be using Bitcoin, then hey, why don't we make it the government, right?
Yeah,
But
so Gary...
that'll open up a can of worms. Shout out to Just Worms. Hey, let's get that floor price up back above too. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
But, okay, so the CFTC is also considering proposing a similar amendment to what the SEC said, which is they would require funds with at least $500 million in assets under management to disclose exposure to crypto assets. The update would also mandate large funds to report investment concentration as well as leverage and related trading finances.
Okay.
Like, do you think that that's a step? Like,
That's
I mean,
a step
it's
in the
like
right direction, for sure.
You think it is?
Yeah.
Okay, because I was wondering what your take was. It's like, oh, full decentralization. Don't even come to the door, feds.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's fair
Like,
game.
what do you-
If we're
you
gonna
would say
have,
that's-
if we're gonna have an institution, right, like a firm, financial firm, come in and make investments on the behalf of other people and control gigantic amounts of wealth, that should absolutely be regulated and overwatched. And why should it be? Because there should be some type of fiduciary responsibility from an investor standpoint. These people should not be playing with your money. They should be investing your money. There is a difference that you and I talk about all the time. And we get beat and battered down by it because we try to be like a little bit slower with our moves, kind of making our way through, observing and watching. And people are just like, we get people in the group sometimes out here that are just like, hit that buy button. They're like, yeah, dude, this is the one, this is the project, like nothing else. And we've really reflected on that. And this is the thing. Gary was our opportunity to be able to showcase like, where's good blockchain, where's bad blockchain.
Yeah. You put a funny thought into my head with, talking about how you can't just have these companies like gambling with your money.
Right.
So I thought like, oh, we're super like pro crypto. Everything went good. Like now I work at like a management funded place, whatever. I use people's money to buy digital assets, and I like just buy an NFT. They just have an NFT drop in their wallet. They're like, this is what we own. It's just like one of my worms. I'm like, hey, I don't know why about it. It just looked cool. Yeah. I mean, now you got it in your portfolio. Let's just ride with it, This is... No utility, no roadmap, just dirt. I don't know. It was catchy, so I bought it, and the art was cool, and now we're both in this together.
But the whole fund is in this NFT. I know.
Yeah.
I mean...
Maybe that's what we'll be when we grow up. We'll be like those guys.
Yeah.
We'll help manage people's NFTs.
JPEG connoisseurs. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much value in the NFT market, man, and that's what excites the absolute shit out of me, right? And that's the cool thing we like about Kevin O'Leary, was he was noticing that Solana had similarities between Bitcoin and itself. And why is that so important? Because the fundamental reasoning behind wanting to create regulation and to have so much oversight in cryptocurrency market is because of that risk. And it's like, okay, hold on though. You know? It's like, wait a second. So I don't know. Let's
Well, real quick, when you were talking about Kevin O'Leary, I just saw there's going to be a new season of Shark Tank, and I'm like, I don't know if they have the same cast, but let's say they do. I mean, you got Mark Cuban and all those guys pro crypto. Like, you're like, how many Web3 stuff is about to be televised potentially? I would be like, please.
There's so many
you know that
ideas,
they're indulging in it so much that like gotta be.
Yeah.
Like for sure there's going to be something.
This is the thing about Gary Gensler's speech is the reaction from Mark Cuban, right? I'm not saying I'm a diehard Mark Cuban guy, but I am saying that if I met Mark Cuban, I would look at him and say, hey, after today, I'm probably a #1 fan of yours, because his personality seems great, dude. I don't know the guy on a personal level, but I can tell you this, seeing him get that worked up about it, and he comes from the technology sector, software sector. This man got extremely wealthy off of software. Come on. This man got pissed for a reason, dude. He was like, yo, Gensler's out here going, let's sit down and talk. He got lit up, and then you see Gensler come out today and act political. That's how that felt. It was like, hey, guys, I'm just saying, I've talked a little bit about it. These are a few thoughts about these things, and really we don't have any further development, but we've been very transparent. We're like, whoa, what? Transparent with what, dude? You really haven't. Because a lot of us are petrified and don't understand what really is going to happen to us. Are we about to lose this entire market to the United States? Like, are we literally about to be cut off from cryptocurrency?
Yeah. I mean, shoot, I would say I hope not, for one. But then if you think about it, like, this is bare minimum. You're just like looking at the world, because now I'm picturing like, picture Shark Tank 30, 40 years ago, and then being like, okay, guys, so like a good investment is going to be this: a telephone that people literally carry everywhere. Like how, and remember I tweeted that, and my tweet, you're like, I don't know why that didn't get enough love. And that's why I'm going back to it, because I'm like, just picture being in like 1980 and you're just like trying to tell your friends, you're like, guys, you're calling them on the phone.
Yeah.
Like you're dialing in the number. There's not even memory saved in your phone. And you're like, this is what we're doing, boys. Theoretically, and we're investing in Verizon. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
They're making telephones that we carry around. Yeah, everybody in the world's going to have it.
That's right.
Imagine how psycho you looked.
I know. And that's how I feel about blockchain. Blockchain.
This guy's high.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
All right, back to it. Bubba Crypto. Not. What was I saying? God. That's the weird.
Are you frustrated because you snitched on yourself?
No, I'm
last
frustrated
week?
because I'm so high I can't remember what I'm talking about, and I keep doing it. It's annoying me.
Here, are you your eyes a little? No, never mind. I was about to have a good transition, but then people would think it's bad, and I would play the Filipino card, and then I'd have to dunk on everybody, so I won't. Okay, we're going to Asia, baby.
That's
We're
right.
traveling. We're traveling to Asia. We're trying to be one of the 300,000 accredited investors in Asia that will have cryptocurrency service accessibility from DBS Bank. So we had DBS's.
I mean, it's tough. DBS's. I mean, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's fair game.
It's like, how do you pronounce the apostrophe?
That's right.
Like after the S,
Yeah.
you know, like what do I say? Do I still add the other S?
Yeah.
So DBS is, that's what I'm going to do. It's proper now. I've ruled it. DBS's bank CEO Piyush Gupta has affirmed that, yeah, crypto's coming. But what I don't like, accredited investors. So, I mean, you're like, all right, the rich people can lose some of their money doing it, or they can make a ton of money. They're going to figure it out. But it's like that accredited investor. I feel like, the game's changed now. What about the little people, right?
Yeah.
But I guess it's not super bearish. It's a start.
It's a start. That's right. Exactly. And the thing is people in Singapore can still get their access to blockchain and cryptocurrency if they really wanted to. So it's not just like the people in Singapore are being, tied away from cryptocurrency, have no access to it. Maybe they don't have like central exchange access to it, and that's the thing that's a tough gig. And obviously the overreach by governments is trying to shut down or ban it at all.
They're still on the fence as well about it. They say on one hand, we want to be a global we want to be a global crypto hub, but on the other hand, we're also very worried about our domestic population getting burned with this speculative asset.
That's fair game.
So, yeah.
I mean, I
agree.
look at what happened to the market, man, and it's a shame. That's what we've talked about. We've talked about it's been a shame since May, since we saw why were people so irresponsible? I mean, I'm not saying like I got hurt as well. I mean, maybe I'm better off than others. I don't know. I don't know everybody's personal situation. I can tell you this though, the energy, you could tell people got hurt, man, and it's just unfair that the way that it got hurt, people couldn't be more protected, and like we couldn't get a little quicker onto this. And oh man, dude, it is super frustrating. That's
not everybody had Bubba crypto like I did, Like, how do you explain crypto without riding the wave? You're like,
right.
So I'm gonna have to be calm about this,
Yeah.
but as much money as you are making, we may go down 90% in a relatively small time frame.
Yeah.
And luckily, I learned the game in a way that helped manage my risk.
That's right.
Got hurt a couple times and learned from my mistakes because I still was, doing some healthy investment process. But like you said, how do we protect them? I think that's what's interesting with the article I sent today with Fidelity possibly allowing crypto services, and then it just opened like, what's the code? What's the analogy? It opened Pandora's box.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I use that all the
time.
time.
Yeah, it did. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Open Pandora's box.
Yeah. Shit don't go back
And I was
into
thinking,
Pandora's box.
I was like, no, it doesn't. The older generation that's like, okay, I would invest in crypto, but like, I don't know how to keep it safe.
Right.
I literally barely know how to work a cell phone, but I have money.
Right.
I was like, well, shoot, if a place like Fidelity, you're investing through them, and you can take away that risk of the custody, like, would there be a possible insurance policy just, for your money, essentially?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think of that?
I think it was a couple.
Like, does that open a door to the safety of, avoiding individual, like, error? Like, you don't want to lose your coins if it's in Fidelity's name and their custody, but it's your investment. I mean, maybe there is some sort of insurance policy in a way.
I could believe that company the size of Fidelity could offer a plan, and they should, because it would benefit them. If you've been around, been investing, and you come along and you want to diversify in these 3 different cryptos, here they are in your portfolio, this is what we can offer you, and they'll be insured up to this amount. So that's a great opportunity, man. And this market deserves liquidity because of how much it's building. That's the thing, right? You and I have been talking a lot recently. Right. The amount we're seeing of these blockchains and these companies, and oh man, it's great. But speaking of which, getting into the next part right here, dude, like Algorand. Look at these guys. I didn't even know about this upgrade, dude, and I saw this and I was like,
that is so funny.
What?
That is literally my notes. My speaking notes are like, I literally had no idea that this was happening.
None.
Like, so that's funny that you said that, because I was like, dude, we literally love talking algo.
Yeah.
We have been talking about algo since Too Easy ever started. It was one of the first alts I ever bought. Yeah. And like you said, they had a major protocol upgrade. So now live on Algorand's mainnet, which introduces state proofs for trustless cross-chain communication and 5 times faster performance. We love that, unless it's in bed probably. You're like, oh, I lasted 10 seconds. That's a popular joke. Well, now you last, a fifth of that, so 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But that's all just math in my head. I don't know. We're not even talking about Algorand anymore. But what we're talking about is state proofs.
State proofs
are an state proofs, an interoperability standard that provides a simple, quantum, secure, and trustless interface that any proof of stake chain can use without compromising on cost, reliability, or security.
Move over,
and then they
Cosmos.
Also just, hey, don't say that.
No, but
don't
bro,
freaking do that. That's my baby.
Dude, I don't think. Bro, this is
Hey,
huge,
we can have
bro.
we can have more than one. All right, everybody, keep it chill.
I know.
Diversify.
I know, but
Keep
this
it
is
chill.
crazy, dude. Dude, my cheeks hurt from how hard I'm smiling about this right now. This is wild. It's great news.
Thanks for not yelling your cheeks hurt on the pod again. Without context. But also the upgrade. Then they dropped the meta bomb. They said this increase in performance from 1,200 to 6,000 transactions per second. Pretty freaking quick, if you ask me.
Wild. And then you think about NFTs and the way you want them to feel seamless and the art to catch on and grow communities. I think Algorand is going to have such a huge, huge position in this market, and people are going to really trust them. Really trust them.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah, I believe this. I'm glad to see that we didn't miss this week, because, I mean, we totally would have missed this. I think, and what was crazy about it is I saw it in there and it just got dropped in there and nobody said anything. Nobody liked it. And I mean, it just got lost, and it's going to happen. And this is a great example of like
our transactions per second is not that fast.
Yeah.
It's probably maybe three transactions per minute.
We're running on
Yeah,
regular
that's my
Bitcoin
brain.
speed. We're not on Lightning Network. Not a chance, dude. We're getting there though.
But you know what we need? We need to figure out, like, do we join a cult or something? Like, how do we get the Algorand news? Because, like, I'm on Twitter all day, and I would say I love Algorand, and I was just like, oh, snap, and it's here already? Well, that's dope. But, you know, just so you guys know, I have a crocodile and a koala, and I'm saving animals at the Australian Zoo. So if you find me fitting to maybe be ahead of schedule on the news relay, like, just that'd be cool. Pass the baton over here.
Yeah, pass the baton. We also got those Astros. Remember those?
Yeah, no,
Those are
I
cool.
did. I have it in my notes, but just with the wording, I was like, in an astronaut just felt random. I wanted to let them know I love animals.
Yeah.
Like, besides the drowning the beetle and peeing on him, which honestly
That's a bug.
was meant
It's a
to
bug,
happen.
bro.
It
Bugs
is a
are
bug.
bugs.
It is a bug.
Bugs are bugs, bro.
Yeah.
If you rock with bugs, that's fair. That's cool. I don't rock with bugs. It is what it is. I see a bug, I'm gonna get the bug, man.
Oh, so the tree out front, it has those locust bugs where it's just like their skeleton. So it's like, oh man, luckily the bug's not there. It's just a skeleton. But then it's creepy because then you're like, well, shoot, I've never seen it without a skeleton. Like, these are real? Okay, either way, we're not talking about bugs again.
No.
But if you do want to talk about worms, my question to the world would be, do worms sleep? Like, do they just eat dirt all day and then they go to sleep?
Damn.
Or they have 9 hearts. So does, like, only one heart and they just never have to sleep because they have a heart pumping it all the time.
That's well done. Way to get there. Do you think of these personally,
no.
or did you read that?
Honestly, so when I thought of buying that Just Worms NFT, I was like, well, if it's no roadmap or nothing, like, the least I can get is an answer on that question.
Okay, that's cool.
Like, have you ever seen a worm asleep?
No, absolutely not. Always wiggling. Always wiggling. Wow. Well done, dude. Well done. Getting into the next part of this article this week, Google came out and had some really big news because they're teaming up with Sky Mavis. That is the developer of Axie Infinity. Not only developer, had a team, probably did his thing, whatever. Axie Infinity, what everybody remembers if they've been around long enough in here, Ronin hack, lots of value taken out of Axie Infinity. Lots of people lost a lot of value. Not chill.
And from what I hear, Filipinos love Axie.
That's
and
right.
I'm Filipino, so let's make it great again.
Dude, the Pacific Islands are big with GameFi. And that's why when we saw that very, very outlandish statement from whoever it was in Washington talking about GameFi needs to be either banned or regulated to an extreme, you just look at that and you go, wow, people are benefiting from it on the opposite side of the planet when quarantine was going down and feeding their families. And we're going to look at it and go, no, don't do that. That's not okay. What's not okay about it? Are you mad because you ain't getting a slice, homie? Those are the vibes. They ain't getting their piece. So they mad. But guess what? Google was like, we want a piece of that.
We're assuming that consent is given, obviously.
Obviously.
I consent to Axie Infinity being great again for all my Filipinos who love that.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I disavow
Speaking
all
of
hackers.
homies, though. Yeah, hackers. Hey,
Disavow.
not chill,
Yeah.
okay? Do not hack. Please don't hack me.
Yeah.
And then I kind of, speaking of that real quick, I'm going to talk really fast so that, like, it can get there, but we don't have a long pod. So somebody called and was like, hey, yeah, no, I had a missed call from this number, and I was at work all day, and I was actually still working, and I was like, hey, you never called. I don't know what, I never called. I don't know who you are or what you want. And then I thought of, like, a story. You know, we know somebody who had a SIM swap happen, and I'm like, is this how it happens? Then I, like, went down a rabbit hole, and I was like, please don't tell me that these people, like, I'm like, yo, there's no way that my phone number called you because I had my phone in my hand the whole time and I don't even know who the heck you are, so why would I call you? And I was like, what if they got my voice? Which, I mean, I guess technically recording a podcast isn't much better because you probably have me saying a million things, but now I'm in another matrix. Holy freaking crap.
Holy
It's
freaking
not
crap.
safe out here.
It's not safe out here. We got lots of problems, but that's why, hey, dude, LifeLock, we need to get them sponsoring us because we love LifeLock. They're out here protecting you, bringing it back.
Hey, can you put my voice on auto-tune for the rest of the pod so that nobody knows my real voice?
Yeah, I can do that. Let's go.
Back to it. Short pod. Here we go. So Blockthentic posted an article, wrote it, handwritten, all the art made by him. It's beautiful.
It is
Shout out to Blockthentic. Netflix bans cryptocurrency related advertisement. So basically, commercials on its ad supported subscription tier, which is scheduled to go live in November. You're not going to see a crypto ad, by the way, because new subscription tier will also not advertise campaigns related to politics, gambling, and products selling to children. So I'm like, well, what are they going to advertise then? Like OnlyFans or what? I mean, I wouldn't be mad. Maybe I would have my own Netflix subscription instead of using everybody else's, but that's besides the point.
That's terrible.
So what do you think? Netflix taking a stance. They're like, everybody keeps making fun of us that our chart looks like crypto. Is that what's going on? And they're just hating the market. They don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
They don't even want to be loosely attached.
Yeah, I Netflix has already been having like a tough year, and then they're saying they're going to cut all this advertising. The thing is I don't see a lot of advertisements on there anyways. So not that I was like really worried about it, but it still is funny. I mean, Netflix.
All I see is, are you still watching?
Yeah.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm not.
Netflix needs to be careful because they have already had this tough year and they don't need any more unnecessary pain. So maybe they should remember that they come from a world of decentralization. Look what they did to Blockbuster. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I'm not team Netflix, man. I rock with Blockbuster. That's an OG. It's like loving AMC or GameStop, you know? It's just like part of the culture.
Did you say Blockbuster? I think you did.
Unbelievable. Trying to catch me slipping.
You're definitely going to edit it either way. Okay, either way. Respect to Blockthentic. Always great work. I love waking up and I'm like, holy cow, there's been 4 articles posted already and I'm late to work by 10 minutes. So
Happens.
it's amazing.
Happens.
Love that. Shout out to Big Block.
Love Big Block, man. Thank you for the news. We love the vibes. But real quick, we've now made a transition into something different just so we're not giving too much continuation on the pod. Shout out to the market. Ha, that was a bad joke. Yep. But we don't...
Sorry, everybody. If you like Too Easy Trizzy, my part's getting cut. Now it's just all political rants and stuff by Bubba Crypto.
It's not. What I do want to say is we're not doing a full 10 top crypto moves anymore. We're doing 2 because we kind of want to narrow our discussions a little bit and point out key factors of projects and kind of be able to highlight things instead of us feeling rushed on this part. So
because if you want to know, it's all in the Discord. We got plenty of charts that you won't see if you're just on the outside. All right, so let's get into it. So come on
my
in,
boy
have
Big
a freaking
Blockthentic
good time with
in the house
with the
with
boys
another
and girls.
freaking
the
article.
boys and gals.
I hate that.
But
what was
as I was
doing?
looking through everything this week, we've been talking about new ones and we brought up AVAX, we brought up XRP, Near again. We got Flow up in here, Polymath and stuff like that. Things I want to touch on. I think Polymath is a good conversation for us to have because we've touched on it before, and it was nice to see Block knew something about Polymath, which is nice because it's something smaller out there in the markets. It's not something that everybody talks about. Polymath has a specific technology that's going to cater to onboarding securities through tokenization. That's big because that would bring a lot of transparency to the stock market in real time, right? In such a awesome, unique way. And that's why I loved it. And so when we saw that pump this week and it was out of nowhere.
Yeah. And it was a pump to be reckoned with. I was like,
Right.
It's literally up 98%. What is going on?
Yeah.
And on the 7-day, they finished 49%. And I mean, shoot, I'll freaking take that while the rest of the market looks like it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was interested in why it happened. I didn't see any fundamentals, and I haven't really looked into what caused it. But, the RSI was showing that at times during the pump, it was obviously overbought. But yeah, Fibonacci, we did the Fibonacci retracement from 50 cents, which was probably 3-4 months. Yeah, the chart was on the 3 months. We did the candle length at 1 day, windows 3 months, and retraced it to 57 to get our levels.
Okay.
And you could see it clearly had a lot of momentum.
Yeah, very much so.
During all that. But yeah, that's why I was like, it's insane that it had a 98% pump. What is going on?
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. What are you thinking? What are you thinking caused it? But we have talked about Polymath in the beginning. So what do you think other people may have found interest in it?
That the Ethereum upgrade coming into play, benefiting the ecosystem, right? I think that maybe one thing, maybe there's some news out there, people buying rumors. I like you said, you and I haven't had it even on the radar because we've been so geared towards trying to build the bigger bags on things that are blue chips in our eyes, right? Things that we know that we'll probably see the rest of our lives.
Right.
And so the thing that I would like to point out with Polymath this week and why it's actually such a beautiful one to go over is because we get to look at the RSI with the new tool that you've brought into play, and then also the MACD lines. And you get to see what happened with the volume and see with the RSI, and you see that target where you're overbought, right? You hit that area where it's all right, we're at 80. You said if you're over 70, you should start considering it. And I think that's where people could find a code of law or ethics, right? But it's not always going to work. Like we discussed real quick, Just Worms, bringing it back in for the 5th time now, okay? Just Worms, when we were first looking at that graph the other day, the RSI looked like it possibly could go down more. And now look at where we're at. And that's where it's unique to be learning these trends and understanding that, like I said to you earlier, maybe on a macro level, your RSI meter, I guess you call it, what do you call that? RSI indicator, there we go.
Yeah.
It is now showing you details that don't matter at this moment in time, maybe. Right? You see what I'm saying? And then you look at the MACD line, and then maybe there's some more info there that could offer some more advantages. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like we're just learning.
I mean, you're just building up an arsenal of tools to use.
Exactly.
Like I said, you don't want to use any one of these tools and then just, solely rely off that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Definitely just keep one thing, and if anything, I was like RSI, it just kind of is the last check mark, not literally the last check mark, probably one of the first you want to look at, but it's vindicate your own decision making. So from my opinion, I feel like the traders use this obviously to use and set their limits and such.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't even know if that's right, but it sounds like it would be when you can tell if it's overbought or oversold, and traders use it. So, obviously you want to buy low, sell high,
right.
And if it's oversold, then hey, that's probably a good time to check it. And if you see that trend going down, then I'm like, cool, I can cool out for a small time frame and see where we're at and try to get, not really aiming to nail that bottom, but if you see trends leaning towards going down, then ride the wave.
Exactly. And with all of this tying back together, AVAX, we have, I think that should be the second one. Let me tell you why. Okay. because we got to talk about the RSI on Polymath. Okay. And as I've been looking at, when I looked over all these different graphs, AVAX, you look at its level on the RSI, and we're starting to approach, and we're around that 30 level that you're talking about, right? That oversold area. And then you get an advantage where you have September all the way to what looks like about April, right? And so we're going back about 4 to 5 months here. And what we got is a range on the Fibonacci, and we're looking at, I mean, AVAX is looking sexy, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like, you brought that Fibonacci level all the way back to 2022 April, right? It was at 120.
Yeah. I thought since we haven't seen it a while, I was like, I love to go year to date just so you can evaluate a little more information.
Yeah, and it helped. And that's the thing. I get caught up in the macro graph, and that's why it was really unique as I was scrolling through. You know, I was like, Chainlink, I was like, damn, I like looking at their graph. Sorry, I know we were talking about we're going to do 2, but Chainlink under 10, and I was like, look at that graph. That's so sexy, the way that it's moving sideways like that, right? And then I'm like, I want to see what the macro side of that graph looks like. And that's where we can start showing everybody and teaching. Like, it's important to be able, and it's important for you, you know, and we can keep this or cut this, but follow. It's important for you to have that description in there where you say, hey, this is the time frame I chose and this is why. And because then when we get to discussing it together, we can show and teach, this is why you want to zoom out at this level right here. Maybe you'll be able to see something right here, you know, and macro sense.
And that's why, and I keep all that in mind too, because I'm like, oh, you know, what view do we need to see most? Like, not right now, but if you are in the Discord, we do it weekly. So I try to change the time frame. Like, it would be so boring to just keep looking, zoom out. Hey, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. But we also, you know, zoom up. Like, I still like to stay at least like 1 month. It would be preferable. Yeah. Like, sometimes I'll do like a 2-week chart or something like that. But I think it is important to look at everything from different views, especially because like so much of the top 10, I don't want to feel repetitive. And we talk the fundamentals and, you know, just being able to see how it progresses throughout.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, thank you for putting the article into the Discord today. Boy, dude, I tell you what, these days right now are moving so fast. But shout out to everybody. This is a great opportunity to get into the next part. We want the technical analysis to be a little easier for you guys, and we hope that we can get that on an opportunity of showing like specifics on 2 coins a week and not having to jump around. So there was a good opportunity to look at AVAX, the RSI line. You see where it's at. It looks like it's kind of oversold. You see they were at 120 at one point. They're hopping around the $20 range and underneath. And AVAX does have an ecosystem that's quite large, like Solana and Algorand and Cosmos, and it is something that has value. So to be respected.
And it's already what is it? It's in the top 15 for sure.
Yeah.
I wanted to say. So I mean, and we're looking for plays. Like, I don't want to have a lot of money in these softwares that don't make it.
Right.
Don't make it through. Like, you know, the best investment is probably one with a positive return. So you're not going to have a positive at 0. So, you know, top 15, that, like, kind of like you said earlier, like, this is where we want to have the plays where we have a lot of vindication in and we believe in it a lot.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And that's a great segue into the finishing discussions, guys. The vision has been unchanged, and every day is time to wake up, get after it, and keep building. The things to come for people that commit to the vision are the ones to bear much fruit throughout their lifetime. Commit yourself to the vision. And that's where we are without a doubt. We are at the building moments. Let's get it together. Let's keep it going. We got lots to learn out here. We got lots to share with y'all. As you guys see things and you guys share things with us so we can go out and find some more answers for all of us. Let us know what you guys got questions on. We love the vibes. Thank you so freaking much for being here. Trizzy, you're fucking awesome, dude.
You're awesome.
Thanks, man.
Shout out to everybody who makes the Discord better, and
That's
like
right.
you said, just adds to it.
That's
you know,
right.
we put that same hardworking effort as well. So we love to be with like-minded people.
Right.
I mean, dude, you saw the Too Easy top 10. It was probably like 3 a.m.,
Yeah.
2 a.m.
Yeah, dude.
Like before it went through
Yo.
what your time says.
I saw-
and bro, I was like literally like falling asleep
Yeah.
while I'm doing this. But I'm like, yo, I can't just like not do my
it,
work.
yeah.
Like
I literally saw your message when I woke up this morning I think I woke up at like 5, and I saw your message was sent to me at like 4 a.m. or 3 a.m. And the first words or thought that went to my head was like, oh, poor Trizzy, dude. He wanted to enjoy his weekend, dude. And I feel it. I feel it, bro. But this is what we discussed together is we really wanted to show the work and show we were willing to put in the work to bring like-minded people together so we can build an ecosystem that benefits everybody, because that's what cryptocurrency is. And that has been muddied up by all the market manipulation over the past 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Shit was exciting last year, man. People were really pumped and hyped to be in this space. Here we are. People aren't only scared to dive in, but they're like absolutely like hating on it because they don't know what it really offers, because people just bought in too quick, man. And it's tough.
Yeah. The investment was everybody is making a bunch of money, so it's going to keep making money, obviously.
Right, exactly. And I mean, happened in the 1920s, 2008. These things are going to happen throughout history and with all sorts of markets. And that's why it's just, for us, dude, this is like bringing it back full 360. I am so grateful to be in this space. I know what it's costed me personally, and the ones that are here understand that, and that respect to one another is very, very deep sentiment within all of us. And so thank you guys. I don't give a damn who you are. I really appreciate you being here, because we have to get people on board with this stuff, man. This is important.
Yeah.
So,
and clearly your why is very important to you.
Yeah.
And what we do at Too Easy, we do everything we can for our why and your why.
That's
and
right.
We'll all drive Model Ys.
Well done.
It's Tesla.
I know. You're great.
All right. We got to have some family time
That's right.
now.
Episode
So-
35. Throw it in the bag.
Yep. Hey, and remember, single fellas and women, just 3 for 10. Go out there.
3 for 10.
Shoot your shot. Swing for the fences.
All right, guys.
Get to first base at least. All right.
Love y'all.
Love ya.